What's going on, everybody? It's Ricky with Videohomicide, back with another topic / discussion video. Last year I made one called Do I Still Collect VHS Tapes in 2023? And I'm back with the question, do I still collect VHS tapes in 2024? So behind me, I still have all my tapes. I've got quite a few downstairs in storage, but this is a lot of the sort of what I consider like heavy hitters, my Cheech and Chong tapes, Herschel Gordon Lewis, Lucio Fulci, all that kind of stuff. And there's plenty of other shit up here. The Hitcher, some David Cronenberg, early Wes Craven, Death Wish, the sealed Lethal Weapon, no, I was going to say trilogy, but it's 4 films, anthology, whatever that's called, whatever 4 of them is called. Always loved that. I got like some Kurosawa, got some John Woo, and just early Peter Jackson shit. Like, that is the kind of stuff that means a lot to me, and it's the stuff that makes my collection sort of what it is. You know, everyone's collection is very unique, and it goes like directly to your taste. And I think once you've been through a few purges of your collection, you really can hone down what you find best to be in your own like film library. And that goes with books as well, comics. People collect cards. Shout out to Movie John. He just made a video the other day called like Should I Purge the Collection? And I would never do anything as drastic as sell all my films, but like if you got to take some shit out, I've done it. Everyone does it, you know, so feel no shame there. I totally get that. And some people grow out of it, but for me, when it comes to my tapes, they're going with me until the dead, you know what I mean? Until I'm fucking dead, because this is the, like, let me just bust one out real fast. Here's a sick one. I don't know if you've ever seen Ghost Dog. This is a great film. I think it's directed by Jim Jarmusch. I thought Forrest Whitaker directed it, but Ghost Dog, amazing flick. This is the tape with its bullshit stickers all over it, of course, but I never really peeled stuff like that off. It doesn't bother me too much. This is a good flick right here called State of Grace with Sean Penn. Again, like, this is a fucking heavy... Listen to the lineup here. Sean Penn, Ed Harris, Gary Oldman. This was a really fun one. Movies like this, I couldn't tell you if they are on Blu-ray or 4K. I guarantee it's probably on DVD, but the thought of like having to go and find this and spend like $50 on it, I can't justify that when I have it on tape. If I have it on DVD, I'm definitely not fucking rebuying it unless it's got like a bunch of extra features and stuff like that I don't have on the one that I own. So it's definitely a format that I still love. It's just going hunting it's not the same anymore. And even if you do find something, it's almost 100% of the time I own it. You know, like, you might find the odd horror film, but I think that there's enough of these reseller types out there. It's not just, you know, what you might think like vintage clothing. Some of these motherfuckers are out there making a business off going to these thrift stores. As soon as they open, they know they develop relationships with these motherfuckers. Hey, let me know when you're taking the tapes out, whatever. You don't like, if you think that doesn't happen, you're fucking insane. Okay, so when you go there and it's like in the afternoon, people have already ran through that fucking spot, dude, and they cleared out all the good shit. They know what sells. You know, you never see I used to see pulp fucking fiction all the time. You never see Pulp Fiction in the wild anymore. Although I maybe go thrifting maybe twice a month. You know, it's a far cry from back in the day. I used to go all the fucking time, and that's when I was just hoarding. Looks like it might be horror, buying it. Looks like it could be like cheesy 80s bullshit, buying it. And then after like all the purges I did, now I'm down to what I got. It's like, dude, what was I thinking? Just buying blindly. And I feel like a lot of motherfuckers do that, man. They want a big collection all at once overnight. And it's like, yeah, you got a big collection, but it's all dog shit fucking movies that you're probably not even gonna watch. You know, buy stuff you're gonna watch. Like, for instance, this was a fucking great film that I heard about for years, and I found it at a thrift store. Dead Presidents. This is the Hughes brothers. I believe they also did Menace to Society, which is fantastic. Speaking of Menace to Society, a couple years ago, with the help of my dad, we actually revived a copy of Menace to Society. I think the video is called like How to Fix a VHS Tape or some bullshit like that. But this is the actual fucking tape, dude, that we fixed, or that the old man fixed. So Dead Presidents, great film. Oh no, this is how fucking high I am right now. I thought this was I thought this all of a sudden turned into Menace to Society. Never mind. Anyways, like, just for instance, like, a lot of my first time watches of some of my favorite films. This is the first time I ever watched Taxi Driver, this exact tape. And I would not trade this for the fucking world, okay? It's same with all my dad's, you know, like heavy metal, RoboCop, Day of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, the Thing, all that shit. I would never part with those. So especially this is how I first saw it. And my dad said it in the documentary, the vinyl documentary, about, you know, listening to my Uncle Steve's records, about, you know, how it's to listen to their actual copy, it's crazy. So Taxi Driver, Exorcist, heavy metal, those are ones that stand out to me big time. Like, there's still a lot of tapes in the basement that deserve to be up here rather than some of the ones that are already up here. But truth of the matter is, when I first moved in here, I was kind of moving in over the course of a month before we actually like moved in and slept in here. And I was bringing stuff over, and I wasn't thinking of like organization. I was just like, okay, get all the DVDs up here, and the tapes I'll just deal with later. And now here it's been almost a year, and I still got multiple tubs of tapes downstairs that I haven't been through in a year. So that's going to be a bit of a treat. Yeah, man. Like for instance, like another cool thing I like about VHS tapes is how they present, like how they're presented, especially on a shelf. Like for instance, like this one, this is actually a fucking sick tape. This is a sealed copy of South Park the movie. It's got an HMV sticker for $11.99, which is hilarious. This is jokes. Parents, please be advised that South Park is intended for mature audiences. Story behind this: my fucking wife, when we were moving her stuff out of her place, her old place, she had like a couple like movies and like some of those Simpsons VHS tapes, and I seen this and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, why didn't you tell me you had this? I've known you for a decade. She's like, oh, I just forgot. And I'm like, well, fuck, I'm taking this. And here it is, man. Sealed thing. But on the shelf, it looks phenomenal. More than that, it is a phenomenal movie. I think anyone could agree with that. I actually don't think I own a DVD copy of this, which is sad, because this is one of my childhood films, definitely. Like, we all watch, like, the story of South Park, the movie, is about like a bunch of like really young kids seeing a highly inappropriate cartoon. Story of my life. 1999. I was born in 92, and I remember when this came out. I watched this when it came out. I remember we rented. My dad used to live above a variety store, which you might think is like, fuck yeah, that's awesome. He did have some tapes and stuff, but his prices were fucked. So we would walk down the street to a different variety store, corner store for you fucking American types. We'd walk down there and we'd come back, and like the owner of the variety store underneath was also his landlord, and my dad just say, that guy's fucking mad that we're going down to that store, but fuck him, because his prices are bullshit. So but we rented South Park from underneath there, and it means a lot to me. One thing about VHS collecting, like, I know people really love the sealed thing, and I have a decent amount of sealed tapes, but it's kind of like a fuck in the ass in reality, because it's like, I'd love to watch South Park the movie, get high and watch South Park the movie, but it's sealed, so I gotta fucking bootleg it or Jolly Roger it, as this there's an Australian YouTuber that I recently discovered by the name of Jamie. I forget his last name, but that's the name of his channel, Jamie something, and he calls it Jolly Roger. Like, instead of pirating, he's like, oh, the Jolly Roger, which is hilarious to me. But there's still fun things you can do with tapes, like outside of actively purchasing them, and that's like customizing them, and that's another thing I'll show you here. So this is my childhood copy of It right here, and this is when I first kind of got into, like, you know, I want to do some customization. So what the fuck's going on here? This is my copy of It on a white with red tab with Bluntzilla video sticker on it. I did another one of these with Halloween. Oh, it's right there. I've probably shown these before, but it's a fun little experiment to do. So there's an orange Halloween tape. Not necessarily like the most exciting thing you could do with your time, but still cool if you're a tape hound, that is. So I mean, I collected for years actively, man, and had a lot of fun with it. But like I said, now that I've got pretty much everything that I desire, I don't feel the need to just go out and hunt thrifts and go to antique malls and just watch my hobby turn into a fucking just cash machine, you know, because it sucks going to a place and seeing tapes, and we're talking like the double digits, you know, we're talking like $30-$40 for a tape. It's like the fun is gone, it's dead. Like the thought of going, like, there's a place that I go to a couple times a year with my wife It's a 3-story flea market, like antique mall, and there's a couple of tape booths, and it's like you go there and you're just like, wow, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, $20. You know, Halloween fucking 6, $30. Night of the Living Dead, $20. Are you fucked? These are like if you see Night of the Living Dead and you pay any more than like $1 for it, Godspeed, okay? Because that movie is public domain as fuck. There's probably more copies of Night of the Living Dead on VHS tape out in the wild than any other movie, maybe other than Disney. Some kind of Disney bullshit, but I'm just looking for some highlights up here. Like my Romero's films have to be downstairs. My double tape Anchor Bay Dawn of the Dead is not up here. There's another copy of Dawn of the Dead, but you know, another cool thing. This shit right here is really fucking cool. This is something that can be done in the modern day. So, just drop some bullshit. This right here is a stack of tapes that's put out by Vinyl Hell Studios. Okay, and I picked these up from Shockstock a couple years ago. This is Taxi Driver with a really cool, obviously, homage cover to Dawn of the Dead, which we just talked about. These are known as clamshells. But yeah, this stuff right here, if I'm gonna buy anything, it's gonna be shit like this. You know, I'm not interested in going out and it's a pretty fucking basic sticker, but still cool as hell. I'm not going out of my way to buy just stuff that I already have on DVD most of the time, if you know what I mean. Here's House, which is a Japanese horror film from, I believe, in the 70s. Yeah, 77. This was an interesting film. I did a review on it a couple years ago. Maybe more than a couple years ago. And then the last one I bought off this guy is actually a really good movie and very appropriate to own on VHS. That is mid-90s, which is Jonah Hill was the chubby guy from Superbad. This was his directorial debut. And if you're a fan of skateboarding, and which may be a fucking surprise to people, skateboarding is something I'm very passionate about. I'm not a skateboarder, but I love skateboarder culture. I've watched a lot of skate videos and shit like that, and you know, just it's sort of like the same way like punk interests me, is like the punk culture interests me the same as like skateboarding and metal and all that stuff. And you know, I went through like a phase of the 9 Club where I was just watching 9 Club episodes and binging those. That's how I discovered Neckface, though. I discovered Neckface through that. One of my favorite artists. There's a few good artist videos on there. I'm blanking on another dude's name on there, but he's the guy that I think he had a mohawk in the interview. Really enjoyed that. But yeah, if like those old skate VHS tapes and stuff, there's a couple of really good channels. I think Transrolled is one of them, maybe Thrasher, where they go to people's collections and like these OG skateboard collectors, man, they got like a fucking just like shelf of just every skate video that you like. That are probably, people would spend a lot of money on tapes like that. Personally, I wouldn't, but I understand why people would. Yeah, here's another cool like little tape set right here. Unfortunately, I don't have the second Blair Witch Project VHS, but I do have the original right here, which is great. I've got the Blockbuster exclusive Sticks and Stones documentary. And then this is really badass. I've got a Curse of the Blair Witch sealed on tape, although there's a little bit of something going on in there, which doesn't sound too good, but I don't plan on selling this shit. So really cool stuff, man. I love Blair Witch. It was something that I wasn't like totally huge on when I was a kid, but it took until later on in life when I really got to liking that flick. And you know, I appreciate movies like Blair Witch Project. I appreciate movies like Cannibal Holocaust, all these found footage films that it seems like once in a while a found footage film does come along and really change everything. You know what I mean? Cannibal Holocaust is definitely a good example. Same Blair Witch Project, obviously, but later films like Paranormal Activity, like it's found footage, and like, you know, it's movies that you remember. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy as fuck. But I know we've sort of strolled away from the whole VHS thing. But one thing that I did years ago was I printed a bunch of what the hell you want to call these, like Asian, mostly Asian variants, mostly put out by like Vipco. If you know tapes, you know what I'm talking about. And I just have a stack of them, and only like 2 of them have tapes in it. And I'm like, I gotta get rid of these. I want to keep them, but it was better at the old place because I had more space to display. But now I gotta be practical. You know what I mean? Like, I can show you what I'm talking about. Let me just close my closet up here. So that right there is just like a stack of just like bootleg fucking empty cases that have like insanely awesome tapes, like Cannibal Holocaust, Cannibal Ferox, House by the Cemetery, New York Ripper, City of the Living Dead, Shogun Assassin, Ricky O. Just a bunch of movies that like I want one day to make bootlegs of, so I can, you know, watch them on tape. I don't necessarily need to watch those movies on tape, but I like to own them. You know what I mean? Maybe I should leave the camera like this, just straight on. I kind of always do this like angle bullshit, but Zeke, what are you saying? Zeke's like wondering what the fuck I'm doing. So basically, before I end this video, I want to quickly remind everybody that Cinema 187 issue 666 is complete. It is in print. It is for sale. If you want to message me at cinema.187, or you could go to my website in the link of this. The link in the fucking description of this video has my link tree. You can go there. It's got my website. You can go there, and then my email's there. Shoot me an email if you want. The easiest way to get a hold of me is definitely at cinema.187 on Instagram, but you can get this. And you can also pick up my latest comic, which is Vomit Coffin. This is actually it's included in this. This is a 36-page comic I did recently. It's a rip-off of Evil Dead. It's basically the Freak Brothers meets Evil Dead. So this is $10 US plus shipping. This is $30 US plus shipping. They both come with multiple zines and different fun little things. So you can definitely get a hold of these and enjoy them, and hopefully you enjoy them as much as I did making them. So with that being said, I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure you leave a 666 in the comments. And with that being said, adios.